Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Suppose you were sent on a mission or someone sent you on an errand and they told you that you were for sure going to fail, that the errand would not be successful, the mission would not be accomplished. How would you feel in that type of situation? That's what we find Ezekiel going through in Ezekiel chapter 3. There the Lord sends Ezekiel. He tells him, I'm going to send you not to some foreign people that you don't understand their language. I'm going to send you to the house of Israel, who ought to listen to you, but they're not going to listen to you because they are rebellious and obstinate. And so Ezekiel is going to be sent to speak to people, even though he's guaranteed that he won't be successful. I find that quite interesting. And then as you go on to read the chapter, the Lord impresses on Ezekiel's heart that it doesn't really matter what the response of the people are. I'm still going to hold you accountable on whether you were faithful in delivering the message. And so there's some good principles found here in Ezekiel chapter 3, and actually some encouragement, because it teaches us that we shouldn't be so overly concerned about the results of the things that we are doing for the Lord. Not that we don't want to be successful, not that we don't want to reach as many people as possible and help as many people as possible, but it teaches us that we don't really have to fret over success. That really it boils down to, are we being faithful to the Lord or are we not being faithful to the Lord? Are we really being faithful to the Lord in the things that He's putting right in front of us? Are we doing the things that He has called us to do? Are we doing things that we know in our hearts are things that we should be doing, despite whether we'll be successful at those things or not? I like to think about this within the context or within the thought of a tree, like a fruit tree. You ever notice how a fruit tree doesn't really pay too much attention about or towards how many people are going to eat its fruit? A fruit tree just produces fruit. If it's an apple tree, it produces apples. If 10 people come and eat of its fruit, or no people come and eat of its fruit, it still produces apples. And I think that's a good picture of what we should be like when it comes to our spiritual life. Just constantly bearing fruit. Not so concerned about who's gonna, how big of a ministry we're gonna have, or how big of a church we're gonna have, or how many people are gonna view our videos on YouTube, or whatever the case may be. Not being so concerned about the amount of response we're gonna have, but just producing fruit. Just being like a fruit tree that out of its own nature just produces fruit. And when we do that, we find ourselves being faithful and true to what the Lord has been calling us to do. And sometimes we'll be successful. Sometimes when we're producing fruit, people are going to gravitate to that and want to be a part of that. But then sometimes they may not. But the main thing is, are we producing fruit? Are we producing things that makes life available to others and makes life accessible to others? And that's the main thing. So as we read Ezekiel chapter 3, or as you're going through the chapter, think about times when you've done things for the Lord, but it didn't seem to really add up to much. It didn't seem to be very successful. Maybe you shared the gospel with a loved one or with a coworker or a family member, and they didn't receive it, even though you were very diligent in the way that you presented it. You were very prepared. You did your homework. You tried your best to present the gospel in the best way possible, and they just didn't receive it. They weren't interested, or maybe they were actually angered by what you had to say. And you might get discouraged and say, well, that was a waste. And don't think that at all. Again, we're just here to produce fruit, to be faithful to the Lord, and whatever comes of it, comes of it. And we should have the heart of Ezekiel that says, you know what? We're just going to go out and proclaim the word and let God take care of the rest. So let's think about that today as we do our reading. With that, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.